Most automation systems don't fail because they're bad. They fail because of one invisible decision made before anyone clicks buy. It's not about tools, features, or pricing. It's about responsibility. In this episode, you'll discover the single decision that determines whether your automation becomes a sellable system or quietly dies after launch. Most people believe selling automation is about building something impressive. More logic, more steps, more intelligence. That belief is the trap. Buyers don't care how smart your automation is. They care about what happens after they pay. If that part feels unclear, risky, or heavy, they hesitate and they don't buy. When someone looks at your automation, they ask a silent question they never say out loud. If this doesn't work, whose fault is it? That question decides everything. If the answer feels like me, the buyer pulls back. If it feels like you, trust forms. This decision happens instantly, before logic, before pricing. Every automation creator eventually stands at a fork. On one side, you sell a tool. On the other, you sell an outcome. Tools transfer responsibility to the buyer. Outcomes keep responsibility with you. Most automations that fail chose the tool path without realizing it. This single choice shapes trust, pricing, and long-term success. When you sell an automation as a tool, the buyer feels alone. They must configure it, monitor it, fix it, and make it work inside their business. Even if the automation is powerful, friction appears. Confusion grows. Usage drops. Refunds follow. The system didn't fail technically and failed psychologically. Tool-based automations depend on motivated users, but motivation fades. Clients get busy. Priorities shift. When results slow down, blame quietly moves toward the automation. Sales become harder because every new buyer senses this risk. You're forced to over-explain, over-demo, and discount. Scaling becomes exhausting because trust must be rebuilt every time. Now compare that to selling an outcome. The buyer isn't purchasing software. They're purchasing relief. You position the automation as something you manage, you monitor, and you improve. The client doesn't worry about how it works. They care that it works. This shift alone increases trust, confidence, and willingness to pay. Ownership is the hidden signal buyers look for. When you own the outcome, you remove their fear of failure. They no longer feel responsible for technical decisions or ongoing adjustments. This creates psychological safety, and safety is what unlocks buying behavior. People don't pay for automation. They pay to avoid stress, uncertainty, and wasted time. Here's what most people miss. Outcome ownership directly affects pricing. Tools are compared to other tools. Outcomes are compared to business results. When you sell outcomes, price resistance drops because the conversation shifts from how much does it cost to what does this replace? That's how the same automation can sell for 5 times more. Buyers trust outcome owners because responsibility feels clear. If something breaks, they know who handles it. If results slow down, they know who adjusts it. This clarity removes hesitation. Humans avoid decisions with ambiguous blame. When you remove that ambiguity, buying feels safe. Trust isn't built through promises. It's built through ownership. You don't need complex automations to sell outcomes. Even a small, simple system can command high value if you take responsibility for the results. Complexity impresses, but clarity converts. Buyers pay for certainty, not features. Your job isn't to over-engineer. It's to design systems where the outcome feels guaranteed. To sell outcomes, you must stop thinking like a builder and start thinking like an owner. Builders focus on creation. Owners focus on results. This shift changes how you talk, how you price, and how you support clients. The automation becomes a vehicle, not the product. The product is the result it delivers. If you've built automations that worked but didn't sell, this is why. You weren't missing features or marketing tricks. You were missing ownership. Buyers sense the gap even if they couldn't explain it. This single decision explains hesitation, long sales cycles, and low conversions. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Ownership doesn't mean guarantees or risky promises. It means clearly defining what you manage, what you monitor, and what you optimize. You show process, not perfection. Buyers don't need certainty of success. They need certainty of support. When responsibility is visible, trust forms naturally without exaggeration or pressure. The moment you reposition from tool seller to outcome owner, buyers feel a difference. Conversations become calmer. Objections soften. Questions change. Instead of asking, how does this work? They ask, when do we start? Nothing about the automation changed, only the way responsibility was framed. That's the leverage most creators never use. You fix only one thing after this episode. Fix your positioning. Rewrite how you describe your automation so it emphasizes outcomes, management, and ongoing responsibility. Don't touch the tech yet. Words shape perception. Perception drives buying decisions. When the frame changes, results follow, even with the same system underneath. Outcome ownership doesn't just help you sell, it helps you grow. Clients stay longer, feedback improves the system. Referrals increase because results feel dependable. You stop chasing one-off sales and start building trust-based relationships. This is how automation turns from a side project into a sustainable business without adding technical complexity. If this episode shifted how you think about selling automation, make sure you subscribe to Artificial Intelligence Explained. This channel isn't about tools. It's about clarity, strategy, and building automation systems people actually buy. Leave a comment with the word outcome if this insight changed your perspective, and I'll see you in the next episode.